Wordle. I don't know if I need to explain this game, because it was an obvious viral game for a long time. Personally, my takeaway of Wordle is that apparently you can just take a game show and then use it, just port it to a website, add some sharing mechanics, and make $1 million. Now, you know I have to do the chess battle advanced meme, so I've actually been using this opener for several years, even though it probably makes anyone who actually plays this game very mad. 7 out of 10. Now, some people like to play this game while basically locking in the green letters. I mean, you can play however you want, and I think it's cool that it forces you to think of a valid word, but sometimes you just end up in situations like that where you're one letter off, and you wouldn't have that problem if you were playing this optimally. Now, since the New York Times stopped being a trustworthy news source, it has decided to branch out into buying other people's puzzle games. In essence, in my opinion. For example, Spelling Bee, which is like Boggle, but worse, with this very arbitrary center letter constraint. It's also paywalled. So I don't personally play this game, but maybe you can enjoy Anagrind practice. Anagrind means anagram plus grind. I think people get confused by that. Now, on the other hand, this Connections game is honestly quite good, even though it's also basically taken from a game show. But there's actual good changes that make this better, like more accessible, and more themed compared to that game show called Only Connect. You're basically trying to find hidden connections and groups of 4. Like, you might see that there's flee, leave, retreat, and withdraw. That could be a group of 4. Now, this is also true in the game show, but the puzzles can be designed to have red herrings or things that look like groups of 5, but one of the words actually belongs to another category. It doesn't seem like this is one of those, so we'll just submit this. There we go. Now, in classic NYT fashion, they did downgrade the interface with an update like a month ago or something. Probably longer than that. Now, looking at this, like, I'm actually doing this blind, and it seems like the next category, well, there's not really a next, but the one that I see is this, and I don't know the 4th. So you could put cheese at the very end of each word. Cottage cheese, string cheese, cream cheese. I don't know the other one, and there's this one away. That, I think, is actually a very nice feature. Like, it lets you know that you're onto something, so I think it's goat cheese. Yeah, never heard of it. Groups also have color themes. Purple is supposed to be the hardest one, although I kind of dispute that in a lot of them. And just from playing this a lot, purple is more used for these category or phrase or wordplay like things. That's the vibe of purple in this game. Oh, that's probably because the greens and blues sometimes reference really obscure things, like Star Wars or Guardians of the Galaxy. Who's ever heard of those? Anyway, this one isn't obscure. I understand that it's like website buttons, likely. Page on a website. Okay, last one, I mean, looks like cat stuff. Or like shedding skin. I don't know, but, you know, yeah, okay, sure. Of course, there's the classic share results clipboard thing. It's a good compromise in terms of information, even though it doesn't tell you the exact way that you screwed up. They've also integrated a bunch of auxiliary statistics things in, which is actually quite cool. I like seeing all this extra info. There's some AI descriptions. Okay, like, most of this is a joke. It actually understands, like, this is an intentional mislead phantom category. Shed, retreat, cottage, home. Some of these puzzles could be designed with a lot of fake categories in mind, which is impressive. It's a very different puzzle-solving experience, and if you can't mentally keep track of all those potential categories, the website is not the best interface to try to keep track of it. They also have a connections companion, which is basically a hint page, but in my opinion, their hint page, like, system is maybe a bit unsatisfying and unhelpful. Shouldn't it be partial hints for the category names? Now, there's a cool fan site for this game that lets you play the archive of these puzzles, so I get to show off this one that was pretty nice where everything just starts with a D. The April Fool's one was also nice, like, it's all emojis, like, there's a lot of design expression, and also this site lets you submit more than 4 at a time, so you could literally solve the whole puzzle at once, which the official site doesn't have. Though it's still not the best note-taking in case there's 5 of a perceived category. The site also has custom connections puzzles, and I've made several custom connection puzzles of my own. There's also puzzle game streamers who will happily play your wall of text awful connections if you really want. This guy got really mad at this puzzle. Oh, Pranker. Oh, there's also this other site has an archive as well, and what's even better, the stuff actually animates. Kind of. I mean, it's not as satisfying, but it still does, which is better than the NYT one. 8 out of 10. We don't talk about strands. Now, cryptic crosswords. Now, before I really knew how to solve cryptic crosswords, I knew that they were clever wordplay and interesting puzzles, but couldn't get into them because there's some cursed expectations of this genre that make it more enjoyable for people who are experienced with those types of puzzles, but feel like nonsense if you're the first time experiencing it as a newbie. And to be fair, there have been some other good approaches like this beginner-friendly Cryptic from the New Yorker, which bolds the definition part. Because the special format of Cryptic crossword clues is that there's a definition either at the start or the end, and the rest of the clue is wordplay that also gives you that same answer. So for example, for this one, it's 6 length, and you need to interpret that stings as ouch, but it's during ET retrospective. So the during means that you're going to put ouch in between ET retrospective, which retrospective, it's backwards, TE, and that gives you the word touche, which is a synonym definition for you make a good point. Now, I personally couldn't even get into cryptics until I played a map with a custom mechanic, the puzzle game lingo, and the cursed way that you have to interpret words, like, for example, uneasy. You don't read that as, like, anxious, you read that as anti-easy, so hard. And, like, injury, instead of reading that as pain or wound, you read that as in a jury, aka juror. This pink custom mechanic is something that I really want to talk about in its own video, especially its inverse, which is a mechanic that's really rare in cryptics and could only really work like in this game because of its more limited indicator pool. We're getting a bit off topic, but I just really want to talk about this mechanic, and I haven't yet. Anyway, this section is actually about minute cryptic, which by the way doesn't work on desktop and hasn't worked for months on desktop. I don't know why it's broken. So every day there's a new cryptic crossword clue, and there's also hint buttons. Now, crossword interfaces do actually have show letter, but it's a bit more out of the way, and if you press show hint, it will tell you the definition part of the clue. So I might as well resolve this for the video. So the split is average grade exam, and the word on stays the same. It is not synonymized. Average grade is C. On is just literal, and there's no synonym there, and exam is test. So the full word is contest, which is a synonym for dispute. The creator of this also has a YouTube channel explaining a solver's thought process and the solution to every puzzle, which is really cool, and the comments also add a sense of community too, with people talking about their own thought processes and how fast they got the solution in. You can also see there's effort put in the videos, like in editing and animating the text as well, which is definitely appreciated. Overall, this project is awesome. Like, there's only really minor flaws. I think the one I didn't mention yet is the letter hints. It gives you a random letter, and I think that often makes it a lot less helpful. Like, the first letter hints are often way easier to intuit. Like, maybe you should show the selected letter instead. But yeah, the site's great. Another well-known variant is Quordle. I think this is actually the best of the genre of playing multiple Wordles at once. There's like 2, 8, 16, 32, and all that as well. Unfortunately, this has also been landlorded and bought out by ugly ad space, but we're gonna pretend it doesn't exist for now. I actually think like the faster but also nicely animated interface, it's actually better than Wordle's interface. I'm going to do like white, black. I was trying to go for a chess theme with pawns. The knight jumps in chess, right? We can say that. Froggy. Is droney a word? Wow, that's a word. Okay, so we have all letters of the top right. So toner could be a thing for the top right. Rouse looks like the only possible option for the bottom right. There we go. The fact that it didn't immediately go green, I was worried about. Solving that also gave me the info that toner can't be it for the top right because the O is not in the right spot. So bottom left, I thought it could be betas, but the S no longer fits. B-A-T, what is this? This is bait. And I don't know what the last letter would be there. 10... Okay, this is it. Is that a Salve a cappella reference? Okay, so we got this. We also know this is B-E. Is this like the way to spell? Just this was not a non-word. This better not be the answer. And what is going on with the top left? Maybe it's... No. Where's the D go in this? Oh, fudge. G is also part of this, so... Bagat. No one uses that word. But okay, there we go. That took 8. So there we go. 7.5 out of 10. I have no other words. Now, there is one variant that I found, like, I found this link, like, years ago or something. I think it's the best in terms of the crosswords idea, because some of these freaking variants are a visual mess. No, the one I'm talking about is Squareword. So, it's just a 5x5, and there's 5 horizontal words and 5 vertical words. Now, figuring out the vertical words is also satisfying, and deducing those is something I really like. You know this STE is going to be steep or steel, or maybe steed. And another cool thing is being able to work on multiple words at once by splitting letters. Like, I know this first row is probably ghost, I think. But what's nice is that I can delete this and say gloat instead, which gives me more information, but if it is ghost, I still get to complete the word while getting info for L and A, you know? I should have turned on dark mode. So what's this word? Bones? Or maybe boars? Now, I do think the UI could be a bit more helpful. Like, you see these as yellows. Of course, it's very thematic, they're yellows. But you have to constantly look at the grid if you want to not put a yellow a potential letter in a place you've already seen it before. Like, you know that it's not going to have an O in the middle space. So I'd like to, like, mark this as a letter O, but I just can't. So if this is O-R, then this word is outro. Yeah, that's... okay. I think we should try the word wordy. It'll solve for boars, it'll solve a potential steed, and you'll get W and Y letters we don't have yet. Oh, that's not right. Okay, but we know it's bodes then. Wait, then it's not outro. It could be outdo. The middle row seems definitely the word enter by now. But could we make the middle letter a U or not? We probably can't get away with that. I'm just gonna do enter here. So the bottom was erode with the cross vertical being R. So I'd like to do order here, but I bet this is an E. Because to spell the word terse vertically. Oh, the first letter probably isn't actually an O anyway. For the second row. I do R-U, whatever, and E. I can spell the word truce. Although I don't know what G, whatever E-B-E is yet. The word is route. Okay. If it's route, then I can't do anything. Okay, let's just do truce then. Well, no, I can do, like, rodeo to do the last two. There we go. So there was 8. However, just like word-line connections, there has been some AI poems, AI auxiliary content, so whatever. I really like it. Hold on, I was gonna end this, but I just found this game called Threefall, and it's about linking words. So see, like, gold digger, gold leaf, gold medal, and hourglass, happy hour, lunch hour. So this game is purely about linking categories, and even the final word of each category is then part of its own category, where you can do rush hour, gold rush, and mad rush. Man, that looks so annoying that the Threefall is not centered on the game. Okay, so, well, what, towel? Safety, burn, blade. Dance? Although burn dance doesn't make any sense. Instrument? There's no penalties for wrong guesses. These should have, like, tooltips on them. Why are they buried inside the hints page? You can't hover over them at all. Also, I had to think for 1 second whether I was gonna pronounce buried the wrong or right way. So, incorrect. Fire, maybe? Guitar, air guitar is a thing you say. Yes, okay. World. No, okay. Why can I not select the... oh my god, that's so awkward. I just need to double click to get rid of them, but, like, this is... not being able to select doesn't work well with my wish to only operate left-hand keys. Hazard, maybe? This suddenly makes me see the value of making a game where it's only keyboard control, because you need the mouse to switch stuff, probably. Well, I guess we can tab. Yeah, I guess you can't tab. Is it just dry or something? No. My first thought was towel. Is it just towel? Nope. So can I guess the last word? Surely with no mistake penalty, you could try to guess for the last word. I guess first is the thing you say with safety. Like, it's gotta be an article of clothing, right? Oh, nope. Blanket! There we go. So what connects to the... I guess blanket band, but that doesn't really work with guitar. Monster. Like spaghetti monster. Anyway. I thought pin because of safety, but that's like... that doesn't work at all. Safety glasses? Nope. Like, if there's anything between these, it would probably be like protection, like burn protection or something. Razor. Hold on. Razor blade. And there we go. Okay, so... now, blanket, razor, guitar, and one word connects the 3. Thought a guitar pick, but I'm not sure that works, yeah. Razor thin is also a thing, but no. Oh, well, I mean, okay, this might be the kind of thing that's perceived as too generic sometimes, like, this one could have been training, but that's also generic. But here's one that works with all of them. And there we go, electric blanket, electric razor, and electric guitar. Yep, there you go. Well, that was pretty good. Hey, what's this remote associates test? Goodbye.